So I wanted to start out the week with a little effort in honing my bullshit radar. It won't be long now before the next election cycle actually begins and we get inundated with historic levels of spin and race baiting. I need to prepare myself. I need to master my craft. What better place to start than with the wild buffalo himself, Cenk Uygur? And before we get into this video, I want to give a little shout out to this video's sponsor, Virtual Shield. Virtual Shield is a personal VPN with additional features like real-time protection, clear browsing data, being able to disable your webcam, and disable your microphone, just in case any nasty hackers might want to take advantage of that sort of thing to use against you. It also allows you to change your location, clean temporary files, and a wide variety of other things to help keep your browsing experience entirely safe. What is a VPN? Well, basically, it allows you to have your connection encrypted and secure to become truly anonymous online. With the recent revelations about what Facebook is doing with our data, the more and more data websites are collecting from us. Have you ever had a conversation with somebody and then all of a sudden seen ads come up on your phone? Well, that sort of stuff freaks me out, and Virtual Shield has an app that's going to protect you completely. Okay, before we get into the final product, I want to start off with the specifics of the actual story. Some golfers got into it with the owner of the golf course. They were asked to leave. The cops were called for some reason. The cops did nothing about it, issued no tickets, and everybody went their separate ways. This is a non-story. But let's see how the Buffalo crew decides to cover this. Let's start with the thumbnail.
This is another video of, reported racial profiling. We'll start with a picture. This is a group of women. They are from a group that goes golfing all the time. They're black women. They're from Sisters in the Fairway. It's a decade-old club that goes out and, there's more than these women are in it, but they go and go to golf courses around their area.
Okay, so the golfers knew how to golf. That's what the first 3 minutes of this video is. They spent the first 2 minutes of a 7-minute video establishing that people that would go to a golf course knew how to golf. Something that was at no point in question at all in this story. They then categorized the situation as, of course, reported racial profiling. See, the thing is, there really is no indication from anything I've seen that there was any racial profiling, other than the person who was asked to leave called it that. Now, I'm not going to say she's lying. I'm just going to say there are plenty of cases I think we could point to when that particular card might be brought up prematurely. I didn't see any reports or instances of racist terms being thrown around. The owner didn't say, "I'm removing you because you're black." None of this happened. As with the Waffle House story, we only see a video after everything happened, and we're stuck being filled in by whatever media narrative gets passed down.
He said, "Today I was a victim of racial profiling and discrimination. Just a few minutes after we took our Sisters in the Fairway outing picture, Sandra Thompson and I were kicked off the golf course and the police called. The owner tried to kick us off earlier on the second hole, but Sandra intervened. The harassment continued to the 10th hole with the claim we broke the rules. We are golfers and we did not."
Okay, so again, where is the part about racial profiling? Just because you say it is doesn't make it so. Obviously, I wasn't there. You likely weren't there. The vast majority of people were not there. But you would think if you're going to call somebody a racist, that you would at least provide one single thing they did along those lines. From what I saw in the video, the owner was calm, cool, collected, and respectful in his conversations with the ladies. Again, I'm not saying nothing happened, but from what I can see, they were treated with respect, offered a refund, and also, we don't really know the history here. We don't know if there were complaints about the golfers. We don't know, anything about the situation. What if were there other black people on the golf course? I mean, is this the only, they're members of the golf course? Did they have beef with the owner? We don't know anything about the situation other than the two individuals' skin color, which is apparently all that matters to the Young Turks.
Why are we bothering people? Jesus
Well, it's
Christ.
just like, let's say they don't know the rules of golf and they were going too slow. Is it illegal to golf too slow? There's no reason to call the cops over this.
Well, in fact, it is actually against the rules to golf too slow. And it is also the owner's right to refuse service if he or she wants to. He should be able to exercise that right. Is calling the cops extreme? Certainly it does seem like that. Again, but we only have a tiny sliver of the picture. When you willfully are ignorant about something because you've decided it fits your narrative, sure, it seems absurd to call the cops over people who were playing golf on your golf course and were paying to be there. But what if this company has a policy that anytime they ask a member to be removed, they call the police? We don't know that. Did the owner feel like having a third party there to document in case things got out of hand? Maybe he was protecting himself. We don't know. We know that we live in a litigious society and everybody wants to bust their cell phones out and catch people acting the fool or making a mistake. So maybe that owner felt like he needed to do that. I don't know. The Young Turks don't know. But we do know is all the Young Turks basically did was boil it down to a simple headline of racist white guy calls cops on hero black females.
Yeah, but why call the cops? Why do we have to call the cops on just black people just trying to live?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
Okay, so this is the reason we talk about it is because if it doesn't happen to you, how would you know about it, right?
Ooh, see, Cenk knows. He knows this is a nothing burger. He knows it's a race bait. And that's why he's explaining the reason this video even has to exist. He's pre-offering justification for the video's very existence. By the way, guys, the only reason I have to make this video is so you know that the Young Turks are race baiting disingenuous losers. How else would you know unless I made this video? Clearly, you're probably not watching their videos.
And so, again, that term that comes up, white privilege, right? In some ways, I've said this 1,000 times, it's kind of an irritating term because if you live in Nebraska, you're like, I never even got to play golf. I don't have money to play golf. But it never happened to you. So here's a situation where if you ever went on a golf course, they probably didn't do this to you.
Yes, Cenk, that's right. I've never been kicked out of a golf course. I don't have the time, money, or in general interest to golf. What's your point here? And also, by the way, what you mean is by you're talking to white people. You're saying if you're white, you've never been kicked off a golf course. The fact that you would believe white people have never been kicked out of a golf course is insane. A simple search can find you hundreds of examples. But of course, Cenk, you already knew that. And you knew if you bothered to take your own advice and Google it, it would destroy your precious race bait.
You can Google it. It's really easy.
It was probably someone who was just themselves. It's usually on a golf course when someone's mad at you, they have had a bad week. And they came to the golf course and they, instead of taking it out on the ball like you're supposed to, you take it out on someone else at the range. And obviously they decided to single out this group because they were different. And that's frustrating.
You know what's frustrating to me is that you go from delivering what is probably the most likely answer, one, maybe two people just having a bad day and blowing things out of proportion or taking things too personally, and then you completely spin it into this absurd narrative. How in the hell could you possibly know that? How could you say something like they took it out on them because they were different? You have no evidence of that. You have nothing. You're calling this business owner a racist with no evidence, no history, no research, nothing. Just the fact that one person said it may have been profiling. What made it obvious? I don't get the Young Turks. You know why I don't get them? They have literally no logic, or they're willfully ignoring it. And that's hard for me to compute. I mean, do you know that the golf course wasn't full of other black people? They don't know that. So maybe they weren't different. Maybe it was a golf course full of black people. You don't know that. Is it unlikely? Maybe. I don't know anything about the demographics of that area. The point is, I'm not a news agency, and I'm not reporting on reported racial profiling. They are. This is a tool they're using to divide and conquer. It's an age-old tactic. It's disgusting, and hopefully people will start to wake up to it.
And just last thing, guys, can you understand the frustration of some groups in this country when they get stopped for walking? And that was another story we did, a guy walking across the street and just brutally assaulted by the cops in that case. They said jaywalking. There's nobody around. It was the middle of the night. I mean, it was preposterous.
Oh my God. Could you be any more disingenuous, Cenk? I didn't even script this part off, but rewatching this video infuriates me right here. First you say, well, there was just a case of somebody who was brutally beaten for walking. Or was he jaywalking? Or let me ask you, Cenk, what if he was jaywalking and nobody was around, is he still breaking the law? Because according to you, because nobody was around, his jaywalking was not breaking the law. Is there any evidence that he was brutally beat simply for walking across the street? I'm guessing not.
Yeah, for driving, for playing golf, for asking for a plastic fork at a Waffle House, and the list goes on and on and on. How can you not see their frustration?
Exactly, Cenk. Can you understand the frustration of some groups of people in this country when you, a moronic, lying Buffalo man, completely mislead your viewers by saying stupid stuff like arrested for walking or arrested for asking for a plastic fork? Anybody who knows anything about the Waffle House confrontation or issue knows it wasn't because somebody was asking for a fork. It was because somebody, a citizen, got unruly and didn't know when to shut their mouth and go home. I'm pretty sure that would have resolved everything. But no. You say somebody was arrested for jaywalking, golfing, or asking for a spoon. It's frustrating to watch somebody with such a large reach blatantly lie to their viewers. You piss on the actual victims of these sorts of things when you have to bend nothing stories to fit your narrative. You get that, Cenk, right? You understand that when you're constantly looking for something to report on, issues like this, when the real issue comes up, when a real problem happens, when an instance of real racial profiling happens, you will have at best completely desensitized your audience to it, and at worst, completely turn them off to caring at all.